Let's talk about Minnesota. Minnesota is a state in upper Midwestern region of United States. It is the 12th largest U.S. state in the area and 22nd most populous, with over 5.75 million residents. Minnesota is the home of Western prairies, now given over to intensive agriculture. Deciduous forests in the southeast, now partially cleared, farmed and settled, and the less populated north woods, used for mining, forestry, and recreation. Roughly a third of the state is covered in forests, and it is known as the land of 10,000 lakes for having over 14,000 bodies of fresh water of at least 10 acres. More than 60% of Minnesotans live in Minneapolis, St. Paul metropolitan area known as Twin Cities. The state's main political, economic, and agricultural hub, with a population of about 3.7 million. The Twin Cities is the 16th largest metropolitan area in the U.S. Other minor metropolitan and macropolitan statistics areas in the state including Duluth, Mankato, Moorhead, Rochester, and St. Cloud. Minnesota, which gets its name from the Dakota language, has been inhabited by various indigenous people since the woodland period of 11th century BCE. Between roughly 200 and 500 CE, two areas of indigenous hope were tradition merged: the Lorraine complex in the north and Tripuro Hopewell in the Mississippi River Valley in the south. The Upper Mississippian culture consists of Oweta people and other Siouan speaks emerged around 1000 CE and lasted through the arrival of Europeans in the 17th century. French explorers and missionaries were the earliest Europeans to enter the region, entering the Dakota, Ojibwe, and various Anishinaabe tribes. Much of what is known now Minnesota formed a part of vast French holding of Louisiana, which the United States purchased in 1803. After several territories reorganized, the Minnesota Territory was admitted to the Union as the 32nd state in 1858. Minnesota's official motto, "L'Étoile du Nord", is the only state motto in French meaning the Star of the North. It was adopted shortly after statehood and reflected both the state's early French explorers and its position as the northernmost state in the contiguous USA. As a part of American frontier, Minnesota attracted settlers and homesteaders from across the country, with its growth initially centered on timber agriculture and railroad construction. Into the early 20th century, European immigrants arrived in significant numbers, particularly from Scandinavia, Germany, and Central Europe. Many were linked to the failed the Revolution of 1848, which partly influenced the state's development as a center of labor and social activism. Minnesota's rapid industrialization and urbanization precipitated major socio-economic and political changes in the late 19th and early 20th century. The state was at the forefront of labor rights, women's suffrage, and political reform. Minnesota is considered Democratic, running having voted for a very Democratic presidential nominee since 1976, longer than any other U.S. state. Since the late 20th century, the core of Minnesota economy was diversified, shifting from traditional industrial industries such as agriculture and resource extraction to service, finance, and healthcare. It is consequently one of the richest in terms of GDP and per capita income. The state is home to 11 federal recognized Native American reservations, 7 Ojibwe, 4 Dakota, and remains a center of Scandinavian and German culture with the influence of Lutheranism. In more recent decades, Minnesota has become more multicultural, driven by both larger domestic migration and immigration from Latin America, Asia, the Horn of Africa, and the Middle East. The state has the nation's largest population of Somali Americans and the second largest Hmong population. Minnesota stands for, Minnesota's standard of living and level of education are among the highest in the USA, and it is ranked among the best states in metrics such as employment, median income, safety, and governance. Minnesota is known for lakes, mining, iron, copper, nickel, largest shopping mall in the US. Accents, geography and demographics, state abbreviation MN, state capital St. Paul, state size, total land and water 86,939 square miles, land only 79,610 square miles, number of counties 87, time zone, central time zone, state bordering states, Iowa, Michigan, water border, North Dakota, South Dakota, Wisconsin, highest point, Eagle Mountain, 2,302 feet, national parks, Voyageur National Park, state population as of 2020, 5,706,494. State population density 71.7 people per square mile. Area code 218, 320, 507, 612, 651, 763, 952. Top 5 cities as of 2020 population. Minneapolis 433,111, Saint Paul 306,717, Rochester 119,862, Duluth 85,773, Burlington 84,583. Government and Legislature. Statehood May 11th, 1858. Electoral votes 10 votes. State symbols. State bird common loon. State butterfly monarch butterfly. State drink milk. State fish Wire, state flower, red slipper, state fruits, honey script apple, state brimstone, Rexpedia agate, state grain, nose with rice, state motto, Etoile du Nord, the star of the north, state muffin, blueberry muffin, state mushroom, more mushroom, state nickname, North Star State, Gopher State, runs of 10,000 lakes, state photograph, Grace by A. Storm, state poem, Minnesota Blue, state tree, Norway pipe, also known as red pipe. Sports teams, major sports team, MLB, Minnesota Twins, NFL, Minnesota Vikings, NBA, Minnesota Timberwolves, NHL, Minnesota Wild, MLS, Minnesota United FC, NCAA Division One School, University of Minnesota, Big Ten. Table tennis clubs in Minnesota: Brooklyn Center, Northwest Table Tennis Club, Rochester Table Tennis Club, Rochester, XNT 5 Table Tennis Club, South St. Paul Table Tennis, Minnesota. Popular tourist attractions: Afton Arps Ski Resort in Minnesota. Afton State Park in Hastings, Minnesota. American Swedish Institute Museum featuring Swedish history located in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Como Zoo in St. Paul, Minnesota. Uteria Theater in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Itasca State Park in Park Rapids, Minnesota. Mall of America Shopping Mall in Bloomington, Minnesota. Mid-City Museum, History Museum in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Minneapolis Institute of Arts Art Museum in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Minnesota History Center Museum in St. Paul, Minnesota. Minnesota Zoo in Apple Valley, Minnesota. Nickelodeon Universe Amusement Park in Bloomington, Minnesota. Science Museum of Minnesota, Science Museum in St. Paul. Split Rock Lighthouse in Two Harbors, Minnesota. Voyage National Park in northern Minnesota. Walk Art Center in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Weissman Art Museum in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Popular iconic Minnesota foods. Minnesota is famous for the following foods: hot dish, Juicy Lucy, Walleye, with rice soup, refus, dessert bars, porchetta, booyah. Famous people born in Minnesota: Nobel Prize winners, Sinclair Lewis, Literature, 1930; Melvin Calvin, Chemistry, 1961; Peter Agre, Chemistry, 2003; Brian Koblick, Chemistry, 2012; Randy W. Shakeman, Physiology or Medicine, 2013; Bobby Dylan, Literature, 2016. Pro Football Hall of Fame members: Ernie Nevers, fullback, coach, inducted in 1963; Joe Grillo, halfback, tackle, inducted in 1960; Walter Kiesling, guard, tackle, coach, inducted in 1966; C.D. Greenman, coach, general manager, inducted in 1983; Jim Ranger, center, inducted in 1987; Dave Casper, theater, inducted in 2006; John Madden, coach, inducted in 2006. Baseball Hall of Fame player Chief Bender, pitcher, inducted in 1953. Dave Winfield, right fielder, inducted in 2001. Paul Molitor, third baseman, inducted in 2004. Jack Norris, pitcher, inducted in 2018. Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame player Kevin McHale, center forward, inducted in 1999. Hockey Hall of Fame member Moose Gohen, defender, left winger, inducted in 1952. Frank Brimson, goalie, inducted in 1966. Phil Housley, defender, inducted in 2015. Famous actor and actress Jessica Biel, Jessica Lange, Leah Thompson. Famous singers Bob Dylan, Judy Garland, Prince. Fun facts about Minnesota. The state of Minnesota was named after Dakota Indian name for the Minnesota River. Minnesota, which means sky tinted water. Sky tinted water. The Minneapolis Sculpture Garden is the largest urban sculpture garden in the United States. Minneapolis Skyway System is a collection of enclosed pedestrian footbridges that connects 69 blocks of 11 miles of Minneapolis. This system allows people to walk in a climate-controlled comfort area. South Dare Center is in Edina was the first enclosed climate-controlled mall in America. The Mall of America in Burlington, with a retail space of 4.2 million square feet, is the largest shopping mall in the United States. Though Minnesota is called the land of 10,000 lakes, it actually has 11,842 lakes that are at least 10 acres or more in area. Gates Mansion is the first home to have air conditioning in the United States. It was built in Minneapolis in 1914. The unit in Minneapolis mansion of Charles Gates was approximately 7 feet high, 6 feet wide, and 2 feet long. The first Target store opened in Roseville on May the 1st, 1962. Minnesota is the only state with official state photography. Grace by Eric Enstrom. In Minnesota, it's illegal to stand around a building without a good reason to be there. Thank you very much for being with us. This is Arsha Store. We are talking about Minnesota, one of the 50 states in Union, United States. Thank you very much and see you in another video, and don't forget to subscribe, comment and share so that we can grow together in everything. If you have been with us, hands up. See you in the next video. Bye.